welcome to the channel. This is Go Gretty, and welcome to the 2022-2023 Gran Turismo World Series Exhibition Season number 3, round number 3. And tonight we are at Circuit de la Spa-Francorchamps, and it is wet outside, so you gotta figure out what you want to do and do it. And try not to die doing it. Can I do that? Stick around, find out. All right, as you know, the goal is to finish in top 5. Right now, I'm sitting in 3rd. I have 246 points. I need another good race result here. Something around 246 would be good to put in the bank. And hopefully, for that last round, I can just work on improving that time. Now, here we are at start of qualifying. Didn't show you the lobby because, well, the video cuts off after an hour recording. Going to set up a good start here. Get a little bit wide towards the right. Could have been way further to the right. So that I cut back left, get a good run at the start here, but not terrible. Now, when I went out for warm-up, I paid close attention to the weather. You need to do that too when it's raining outside, because the weather, when you go out for practice, will match what you do when you go out for qualifying, and what you see in qualifying will match what you do when you go to start the race. So pay attention when you go out there. Look at your map, see what the rain is doing, and prepare accordingly. So, it was dry, so I'm on the racing hards. Could have chose the intermediates, but I saw that the rain was light, that light greenish kind of color there. So I'm not too concerned with it putting down too much water before I can get in this hot lap. So this is what I'm doing. I'm on my hot lap here. I'm hoping to put in a really good time so I can start up near the front of the grid, because, well, when the weather starts to change, everything just kind of, just take everything and just throw it out the window. You have no idea what people are going to do, what strategies they're going to take, if they take the wrong strategy, if they take the right strategy. People make boneheaded errors, like yours truly often does in these rain races, and so you just don't know. So if you can qualify up near the front, it just gives you that one more benefit to start the race. You don't have to worry about all those folks behind you so much. So, got to put in a good qualifying lap. And as you know, Gretty has his struggles in qualifying. Go a little bit wide there as I go into the right-hander. Back on the curbing for the left. Looking good. Hoping to put it into the top 5. Can it be done in this lobby? I don't know. I haven't done it yet. But it might take a minor miracle. And I'm in the Ford GT, which is actually pretty strong around the track. So, if I don't qualify well, it is all on me. It has nothing to do with the car. Now, I'm not probably the best person on the planet to drive this car. I'm not the greatest with the MR cars. For this reason right here, the chicane, oh my goodness, it is such a bear to get through the chicane with an MR car. I don't know how they do the mixed throttle brake thing that they do, but somehow they keep it from doing that squirrely thing that I just did there, and they keep it stable as they come out of the corner. I really struggle with that. So, run a 2:18.995. That puts Gretty in P1 for a very, very, very short moment. And then I quickly start to fall back down the rakes. Where do I finish? Or rather, where do I qualify? Well, that would be Q12 to start the race. Not my greatest time ever, but I want to take a look there. Q13, Hemiata. Keep an eye on him. One of my practice partners, I call him the Rain Whisperer. I don't know what it is with him and rain, but he just makes it work in the rain. I don't know. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I get around Hemi, I should probably just stick behind him and just do whatever he does, because dude just knows how to make it happen right now. He claims it's just from running that $1 million race here in the the U versus AI part of the game. I don't know. I think it's just really good. But whatever. So, start of the race here, heading down the Kemmel Straight. Got a really good run on Equus. We go on by the Corvette, looking at TS Bap. He's going down the inside. I'm looking to follow him through here, but just no space really as he goes along the side of Spider Racer there in P9. Now, I'm going to try and slip on through on the side of Spider Racer. He goes a little bit wide there, gets in the green stuff, but holds it together nicely. And then Equus peeks down the inside, but I'm going to close the door on him and get down the inside of myself. Now, I was thinking about sending it down Spider Racer there. I was like, no, I'm not going to force it this early in the race. I'm going to let things just kind of happen. Up to P11, picked up a spot. Not too terrible. Race is long. I know there's going to be some rain coming at some point in this race. And And usually when that happens, things start getting a little wild. Cars flying off track, or whatever it may be, strategies, people not going to the pit soon enough or going in too soon. All kinds of stuff starts to happen. So, like I said, I just want to settle into the race right here. Keep in touch with the people in front of me because, like I said, you don't know what's going to happen when the rain starts. You just need to be calm and keep the car underneath us, not do anything silly. And honestly, I'm feeling really good right here in the race, feeling great. See some folks bumping into each other up ahead as you see the little puffs of smoke, which indicates that people are touching. I don't know why it smokes like that in Gran Turismo 7, but it does. It lets us know that they're having some contact up there, which means it's really close, tight race. And then Spider Racer goes wide. I go to cut to the inside of him and spin out on the curb. And then as I come towards the hairpin, the bus stop, not the hairpin, the bus stop chicane, there are cars all over the place. So I went from 11th to last and back up to 13th. And fortunately didn't lose too much time there, but my goodness, I could be sitting up there and right around P10 had that not happened. So let's go back and take a quick peek at what happened to the folks in front of us. All right, so we'll jump aboard here with Art Riccatelli, also one of my practice partners that I'll see pretty often in the practice lobbies. Now we're heading through campus on our way towards Stavelot. As we make our way out of Stavelot, heading now towards Blanchimont, Riccatelli goes wide, holds it together, gets a little touch there from the Mercedes. And we got Outlaw Quadrant joining the group. We got Ninja Bar taking advantage of it in the Lambo. And I will switch to Outlaw Quadrant as we go through Blanchimont here so fast, able to somehow hold it together as they get onto the Soylent Green. Then PVAP's on the outside, but Outlaw with the dirty tires unable to stop it. And then Phoenix gets into the back of Equus and the side of Spider Racer, causing both of them to come to a complete stop in the bus stop chicane, but he gets a 6-second penalty. Only a half-second penalty for Outlaw for not being able to put the brakes there on time. Now, Outlaw Quadrant not usually known for knocking people a little deep on the track, but I guess from going in the Soylent Green there, he had some dirty tires. So a bit of mayhem there at the bus stop chicane, but unfortunately, I completely murdered myself on the curb. Oh, I could be sitting up there in like P9 or so, but instead I am way back here in P13. And remember Hemiata that I showed you earlier, now he's all the way up there. I think it was right around P8 as all the racers had their incidents, so he was able to move on through without too much trouble, just keeping his nose clean. Now I've got to get my head down and try to chase down Equus Ferrum, which is no easy task. Equus very fast in the Corvette. He's been driving that car for a very long time. He's very familiar with it, very quick guy. So, and then in front of Equus, we got Spider Racer, another TPC person. That's from the pit crew. That's from GT Planet, so familiar with him as well. As we post on the same message board. So again, a lot of folks that I know in this lobby. But old Gretty's got to get his head down and try to gain back some positions. As I went from P12 to P11, fell back down to P13. But this is a long race. It's an hour-long race, and we're only on lap number 2. We've got a long way to go. So as we head down now out of Stavelot into campus, I'm trying to do something. I'm just trying to not be mad that I just curb glitched myself to death there on lap number 1. Absolutely brutal. But the folks that had the penalties served their time at the penalty line, so I pick up a quick 2 ready passes there. So there we go, back up to P11. Gained a spot from P12, so not too shabby. Then I see Equus Ferrum. He grabs a half-second penalty. I guess he went wide there on Blanchimont. He must have went out wide past the white line, stayed on the throttle. And if you go out wide there, you can come off the throttle and save yourself from getting the penalty. Same thing, you can also do this at Eau Rouge. If you go off wide at Eau Rouge, just do not touch the throttle until you are back on the track and you will be okay. So what I'm going to try to do now is run down Equus, try to get onto his rear bumper so that when he serves that half-second penalty, hopefully I can go on by him. So now we head up the Kimmel Straight. I am about 0.9 seconds off the back bumper of that Corvette. But I got to tell you, this Ford GT has got some long legs heading down that Kimmel Straight. They're able to pull right in there within about 6 or 7 tenths as we head through Lake Holmes. Just, again, got to be careful not to curb glitch out again in this Ford GT MR car as we head down through Bruxelles. I want to put the pressure on Equus. He goes a little bit wide there, and that's what I need from him. I need to make a few mistakes so I can get right into that, just right into the backside of his bumper as he serves a penalty, so I can possibly get the overtake done on him and take that P10 position. Going to get on the brakes here just past the marshal sign there, I guess is what you call it. They flash the colors like a yellow, if there's a yellow or a blue flag. I guess it's a flag. That's what it is. It's a digital flag, not a marshal's stand. Anyway, all right, so as I go past there, I'm looking good. I'm now within about 9 tenths of Equus. I need to be a little bit closer to make the easy run on when he serves penalty. Now I get within 7 tenths. Need a good exit out of here down into 4th as I head out of Stavelot. And I'm looking okay. Within 7 tenths, he's not going to be able to hold me back. You'll see I'll go down the inside there of Equus. He doesn't hold the inside line. Lets me just go on by. Appreciate that, sir. We make the move. Get it done on the penalty for the mistake. Get on the brakes here into my least favorite part of the track. This stupid bus stop chicane in this MR car just gave me fits. It just wants to flip-flop around all over the place. It's just really hard to stabilize the car through there. We're on a 218, 850, not terrible. Considering I've got a full load of fuel and we got tire wear on, so I was pretty happy with 218s. If I got low mid 218s, I was pleased with that. It all depends on which wind direction you have and how fast you can be able to go. But most importantly, you got to keep an eye on that radar down here. And right now we got all that light green, but if you ever get into that blue and darker green stuff, that can get you up into the intermediate zone tires. You're gonna have to get off of those, get on. So I'm keeping my eye on there, making sure that I'm okay to stay on the hards. I want to stay on them as long as I can. I'm gonna do a one stop, so I'm just burning much fuel. I'm not really trying to save any fuel here. I'm trying to make up positions, and then but I want to stay out as long as I can to make sure the weather's gonna be okay, because you don't want to pit early and then come out and find out, oh crap, the weather changed, I gotta pit again. So we're going to see what's going to happen later on in the race. So let's fast forward a little bit here and go a little deeper into the race and see what's going on. All right, on to lap number 6. I'm behind Spider Racer. Got into a slipstream a couple of times, but he was able to pull right back out in the McLaren. He's doing a really good job out here on the wet course in the Macca, and I go wide there onto the soy and green. Almost have another curb death moment. Get on the brakes early, but boy, it's not early enough as that wet track just not able to hold on. Hemiata has a moment himself. Spider Racer makes the move on him in the bus stop chicane. We go into the pits. All 4 of us all the way back there through Equus. Now I'm going to put on the intermediates because I saw that rain coming, and I'm going to fill up the tank as the old Ford GT, a little thirsty there with Gretty ringing her out, trying to catch up after ramming into the wall there on lap number 1. So fill up the tank, head out. Very important here, be super careful on the pit exit, because if you cross that pit line, get a 3-second penalty. Now right here at the very beginning of the pit exit, it takes over auto driving. You almost crossed that line there. Now whoever drew these pit lines, I don't know who came up with this pit line exit thing. Like, they could have put the line out a little wider there until you got to the very end. But so Equus gets the jump on me in the pits as he had more fuel than I did. I have a good run on him, but I know I'm not going to be able to get past him, so I pull out there right at the last minute. Now sometimes, folks, you got to make the smart life decision and know when to pull out. I thought that was a good time to pull out. I didn't want to push it right there, as no need to go side by side into Lake Holmes and then something happened to one of us here. Again, we're only on lap 7 of 24. A lot of racing left to go. I'm in P11. I picked up a position, and no telling what is going to happen as this rain starts to fall. I'm using some fuel settings here to try and save a little bit of fuel to make sure that I can make it to the end. I usually don't want to pit until about the end of lap 8 because, like I said, the 4 GTs, its big advantage is how much speed it can carry along the Kemmel Straight and after Bruxelles. So you want to be able to ring it out. So right now, while it's wet outside, I'm trying to save some fuel, some fuel map 3, some fuel map 2, and I'm hanging right now in Equus's slipstream pretty darn good. And he's got Spider Racer right there in front of him. So looking good here as we head towards the end of lap number 7. Now you see our leaders there, Rush and Myth Will, jumping into the pits onto the hard tires as they have decided they need to get off of those as it's just a little too wet out here at Spa. Maybe just a little too moist for the boys out there. I'm telling you, but it's a good choice because, boy, when you start getting up to this level of wetness on the track, you do not want to be on racing slicks. It requires all your concentration not to crash, and we're all doing a pretty good job here, all 4 of us, Hemi, Spider, Equus, and myself, by staying this close to each other in the rain on the intermediates. As you can see, we're starting to get near wet tire range on lap number 8. Now Spider Racer goes wide there, goes deep coming out of turn 1, out of Lost Source, and unable to hold it together. So now I move up a spot to P9 here on lap number 8. But it is not over yet. There are positions that came in. I go wide here, and I let off the throttle, and I wait, and I come back on throttle because I went out wide, lose some time there to Equus. Now you'll notice I do not get the 1 second penalty for going wide because I did lift there. So saved myself a second, but I pretty much lost a second anyway because I had to lift because I went wide. And then I go deep again, and I lift off the throttle. I'm hoping I don't get a penalty here because, my goodness, it is absolute mayhem, and my tires are dirty. I spin out number 2 for Gretty. I lose all those spots I just gained and fall all the way back to last place on lap number 8. So we're a third of the way through the race. I spin out. I got the dirty tires there way off on the left, broke too late, and fall back to last. So let's put the old head down, get back at it again, see if I can't pick up a few spots. Can't quit. We're too deep into the race here. I don't like to quit anyway. Use that SR. Have that SR reset, that SR-DR reset. Don't want that to happen. And like I said, if I can crash, so can someone else. So you just never know what is going to happen. Yeah, well, it looks like the rain's starting to light up just a little bit. I can see a break in it right there. So there is hope in the future. Grady may make his way back up the ranks towards the kind of points that I need to crack that top 5 in 4. So let's fast forward, see what happens. Lap number 11, heading up through Eau Rouge. Gonna lift there, get to the inside, get back on the throttle, slide a little bit sideways. Yellow flag come by. Equus Ferris had a moment in Eau Rouge already on and goes wide. So pick up a position there, go from P14 to P13. So I'm hoping for a did not finish last, a DNFL. My goodness, it would be nice if I could do a little bit better than that. So let's put the old head back down and see what we can do here with 13 laps to go. All right, so here we are at the end of lap number 11 into the bus stop chicane. You'll notice a bunch of folks heading off towards the right there to jump into the pits. Well, not a bunch, but at least one did. That was Felix. He jumped in the pits in the Nissan GTR, so we pick up a spot. He's trying to get an early jump on the improving conditions on the track. Now look, you see I'm passing a few more folks there who are in the pits. Those are others who are banking on those improving conditions on the track, and they're going to try and come out and make up that time at the halfway point here in the race. Now you got to be careful with that. you run about a 218 on a dry tire. So that's when it's fully dry. But when it's not fully dry, you're running about a 222, 223 in that range. You're only gaining about 6 seconds a lap. You can lose about 40-something seconds in the pit stop. So it's a gamble there. But, you know, if you're on the intermediate tires and the course is wet, you can gain quite a bit of time on those intermediates. So I'm going to stay out as long as I can just to keep from dying yet again because I've had enough of spinning out here. This Ford GT, it is fun to drive. It is a blast to drive. But, man, it is tough when you hit a curb wrong in this car. You've got to be like on the mark all the time. And I found out that I'm not that good. So there's been yet a race. I think I've had one race in all my races that I did not crash. One. That was it. I did practice races all week. So that should tell you all you need to know right there. Old Gretty, not too great in the Ford GT, but I do love the car. It is fun to drive and it sounds amazing. So, all right, so picked up Outlaw Quadrant now. I'm on his rear bumper. He is in Art Riccatelli's tailpipe there as we're heading down through Campus and Stavelot, heading towards Blanchemont. I always get Campus and Stavelot confused. Campus is first, Stavelot is second in this last set of corners. So now Art is really quick when it's dry. He tends to go a little bit slower when it's wet, as do most of it. But man, I'm telling you what, when it dries out, he is absolutely blazing fast. So hopefully, this is a good sign as they both head into the pits there on lap number 12. So I pick up 2 more spots from them going into the pits. They're jumping off the intermediates onto the hards. I'm going to stay out a little bit longer and see if I can't take advantage of the hard tires at the right time. I want to hit it with about 10 laps to go, though, because you can pick up about 4 seconds a lap. But that's about it. So if you pit too late, well, it's actually more detrimental than helpful. So let's put the old head down. Let's fast forward and see what I can do. All right, so I come in on lap number 15, head back out onto the track, and I am in P8 as I'm heading out, and I'm thinking, where are the guys that pitted before me? I'm curious now. I moved to the right there to, avoid getting that penalty right there. I'm hugging the right-hand sideline as good as I can, and I think I just touched the line there. I get a 3-second penalty. I'm like, where did I get? I didn't cross the line anywhere. Where did I get the 3-second penalty? Apparently the Ford GT is wider than I think, because I went back and saw the replay, and it looks like the tire crossed the line. I couldn't do the close-up view, though, because it wouldn't let you do the walk around the car. So I don't know if it was really over the line or not. But I've got the 3-second penalty, which is absolutely brutal, because look what's right behind me, Spartan Dennis. And so I say, you know what, I'm not going to hold him up. He's going to go by me at the when I served that 3 seconds anyway. So I let him on through. I let him down the inside. No reason to fight that. I was like, Gretty. My goodness. I was in P10 with, 8 laps to go there. Or P9 rather, with 8 laps to go there. And I got a 3-second penalty. And we got a long way to go in this race. So got to serve my 3 seconds. Luckily, Equus a whopping 24 seconds back, so it shouldn't hurt me too much. So let's take another jump ahead and see what happens a little further along in the race. All right, so this has happened now twice. Earlier on lap 15, 16, get the yellow flag. I'm coming around through the track. All of a sudden, the person disappears, so I go up to P9. Now I get the yellow flag. I am now in P9. I will all of a sudden jump to P8. So apparently 2 people up here quit the race after they wrecked their cars, probably so that they could make the next race. Because with them being more than an hour, you can't make that next slot. So I guess that's what they did. Now, I want you to note right here how far Art Riccatelli is behind old Gretty here. 10 seconds with 7.5 laps to go or so. So on to lap number 23. You'll see he's now only 1.2 seconds back. He's been picking up about a second a lap on me. in that Nissan Skyline. I told you he was fast when he gets dry. And Art Stricatelli is just running me down. Now the track is getting wet here. We had a shower. I get on the brakes. What I thought was plenty early, but apparently not as I go flying. Well, so does Art Stricatelli. Now we're into the intermediate tire range. He decides to go into the pits. I am struggling just to get the darn car back on the track. I'm scrolling all over the place. I go through the shadow realm, appear on the other side of the track. Why GT7 does that, I have no idea. It is so aggravating. Anyway, so I finally make it back on the track. I'm just trying to get it throttled. And I know it's going to be 40 seconds for a pit stop for him. So I'm like, okay, be cool. Get the car moving. Don't panic. Even if he comes out behind you and the track is still a little wet, like, just, I go deep here. I go really deep. I'm like, wow, man, the track is wet. And look, and so I get back on the dry line. I'm like, okay, all right, I'd finished the race. I may spit out somewhere, and I put traction control all the way up. 5. I'm trying to do everything I can. I can't stay on the track. I go wide, Rouge and Radion. I let go. I'm like, all right, just let go and let it coast. Don't get the penalty. Into 5th gear, traction control on 3. Track's starting to dry up a little bit for me now. And I know that Art and Equus and them folks are coming on the intermediate. So I'm like, I don't know if they can catch me. I don't know if they can't catch me. Now the track drying up a little more. I'm getting a little more confident. Drop the traction control down to 0. And I'm like, all right, okay, we're okay. I think we're okay. So 16-second back is Art. I think he made a poor decision there to go the pits. He should have just stayed out and went on by me there. And Equus went in the pits behind him. So I don't know how many folks are left back. I think those are the only 2. I think everyone else has quit. So may end up getting some pretty decent points in this lobby if I can pull out a P8. But I'm looking up there. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that Hemiata in P3? Now remember, at one point, he was dead last in this race. He started 1 spot behind me. Look at him. He's all the way up there in P3. What an outstanding race by the Rain Whisperer. My goodness. He just never fails to amaze me when it starts to rain. But I think old Grady's going to be able to pull it out now as the track has dried up enough, heading down through Campus and Stavelot one last time on towards Blanchimont. I got to manage the bus stop chicane before I can bring it home for the final stretch there and cross the start finish line. And good, yeah, you never know what's going to happen to Grady. The Ford GT in the bus stop chicane. 3 wrecks this race for myself, and I'm in P8 in the top split lobby. I can't complain too much about that, folks. I cannot complain about that at all. Get on the brakes, traction control on 3. I'm like, I'm not losing it right here. I'm not going to die with, a 12-second lead heading towards the finish line. Heck, I don't even know what it is, a 10-second lead. So get across the line, an absolutely abysmal 2-minute and 46-second lap. Bring home P8, but look at Heavy in P3. And Spider Racer also that Ninja Bar there in P5, Spider Racer P4. TS Bat takes that P7. A lot of the folks that I raced with there. So happy for those guys. Glad to see Eccles could pull out a P10 after what looked like a pretty rough race for him. So good job, guys. I hope you all had a fun race. I know Hemi and Spider were pretty pleased with their results. I think they're going to get above 300. I am not going to fare that well. I end up getting 245 points, pretty much match my race from earlier, but I'm going to put it in the bank and take it home. So I hope you enjoyed the race. I hope you enjoyed all the action. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back. Check out some more. For myself, Go Grady. Y'all are great.